He's 16 years old and he loves trains, but this teenage subway buff took things just a bit too far. Dressing up as a motorman, he scammed himself a train and took riders on a trek from Manhattan to Queens, making all the right stops before he was stopped in his tracks. Stephanie Shelton has details.
Did you ever dream of taking the A train for a spin? Well, last Saturday afternoon, that's exactly what 16-year-old Keron Thomas did.
It was a scheduled train and made regular stops. He took over out to Lefferts Boulevard without any incident.
Using a vacationing motorman's name and code number, wearing most of the proper uniform, and carrying a typical motorman's bag of tools like this one, Keron Thomas fooled everyone. For 47 miles in nearly 2 hours, stopping at 53 stations and carrying some 2,000 passengers. Only when he rounded a curve too fast, setting off the emergency brakes, was he finally stopped, and then only for a routine drug test. But the bogus motorman ran into the J Street station at TA headquarters and wasn't found until early today.
There was a dispatcher who really should have verified that he was an employee by checking his identification pass, which has a photo of the employee on it, and that was not done.
It was not done because Thomas is a serious train buff who hangs out with the train crews and has learned the system. His mother, who asked not to be seen on camera, says since her son came to Bed-Stuy from Trinidad 3 years ago, he has lived, breathed, and dreamed subway trains.
He will stand his bed for hours and pretend, you know, he's a motorman, Franklin, next stop is Nostrand. Stand clear of the closing doors. But never in my wildest dream will I think he'll do something like that.
Nor did anyone else in his neighborhood.
A nice young kid. He didn't bother nobody.
If Keron lived in the suburbs, he might have found a legitimate outlet for his fascination with trains. Train buffs of all ages run steam and other classic trains, and they're always looking for volunteers. But for kids like Keron, this is all there is.
If there's some way we could channel that interest and have him be a good employee, either for us or for somebody else, I certainly wouldn't rule out that possibility.
But for now, the TA plans to throw the rule book at Keron. Criminal impersonation, reckless endangerment.
What if he didn't know what he was doing?
It could have been deaths along that train ride.
And so reality has blotted out Keron Thomas's fantasy, for now at least. In Brooklyn, Stephanie Shelton, Channel 11 News at 10.